How's it going, guys? It's Reggie here for another Black Ops 3 video, and today I'm going to help you hopefully get Bloodthirsty a lot easier on Black Ops 3 multiplayer for the Gold, Diamond, and Dark Matter challenges for those kind of camos. So hope you guys do enjoy and find it useful. If you do, that'd be awesome. And just in return, if you want to check out headshots, easily, log shots, etc., that's all on my channel. But if not, no worries. Let's get into today's video. I did this video because there's no really any other guide on YouTube for this yet, so I thought I'd do it to kind of help you guys out. And obviously, I did other ones, so I thought I'd continue it with these ones. So I hope you find it useful. Now, what I'm going to quickly do is show you 5 different classes for the different kinds of weapons. Sorry, so we've got SMGs, assault rifles, shotguns, LMGs, and snipers. I'm going to show you my kind of go-to kind of class setups for each different type of weapon class. Obviously, not many videos do this, so this is kind of hopefully help you quite a bit. And then I'll talk about the game mode, the specialists, score tricks, all that stuff, and tips at the end. So go and check. If you're more interested in that, then go to the end. But first, I'm going to talk about 5 different kind of setups and classes. So here we go. So the first setup, then, I would suggest. Well, for SMGs, I've gone for reflex sight. This is obviously going to mean it's just you're more accurate. I've then gone for quick draw. You aim down sight faster, and because you're using an SMG, you're going to be very close to enemies, so you need it. Then I've gone for stock. Now this means obviously you're going to be able to move faster while you're aiming down sight. You'll be able to aim round, while you're aiming down sight, you can move around corners faster, which means you're going to kind of apprehend the enemy and get them before they can aim down sight and shoot you. So it's going to be very useful. And finally, I've gone for fast mags. You reload faster, self-explanatory really. When you're in a close quarters kind of combat, you need to reload and get behind cover very quickly to kind of reload your whole magazine. You could also go for extended mags, but then it leaves you the problem of, well, when you finish with that magazine, you then need to reload. So it's up to you, but I prefer to go with fast mags in this case. You'd obviously use the Primary Gunfighter 1, which gives you an extra attachment. And I've gone for Perk 1, Greed. I'll talk about that in a second. I've gone for Perk 1, I've gone for Sixth Sense. This basically displays a minimap indicator with the direction of nearby enemies. It's like a red cone. It's very good because if enemies are behind you, or you missed them or something like that, or they try and sneak up behind you, the Sixth Sense is going to detect it unless they've got a perk that counteracts that. I think it's still to show up, but it's not as well. And in which case, then you can actually turn around and shoot them. You're going to stay alive longer, so it's very, very useful. And secondly, I've gone for Flak Jacket. You're going to be very close to enemies. They're going to try and chuck explosives at you. Flak Jackets are going to reduce the damage. Generally, if grenades and stuff are chucked at you, you kind of think, well, what do I do? Do I try and get out of it and get away from the grenade, and hence I'm going to be vulnerable and they can shoot me, or do I just stay here and explode? Flak Jacket is going to mean that you can actually withstand damage of a grenade. If you can then recover your health and shoot the enemy, it's going to be perfect for you, and you're not going to rage, so that's very, very good. Perk 2, I've gone for Scavenger. Sorry, did I say that right? Yeah, Perk 2, I've gone for Scavenger. This basically means you can replenish ammo, and because you're close to enemies, you're going to be obviously walking over lots of enemies' dead bodies, so you can actually pick up their ammo packs and stuff. It's going to be very useful, and that's the first weapon category. The second weapon category I've got is the shotguns. I've gone for the KRM 262, and I've left the optic because you don't really want to aim in. You want to kind of hip fire with the shotguns. Some of them, not all of them, but generally with shotguns you want to hip fire. So it's better if you hip fire and don't worry about optics or aiming or anything like that. You don't want to aim in. You only want to hip fire. So hence I've gone for the laser sight. It increases the hip accuracy. I've then obviously gone for rapid fire. It means you can shoot bullets out more quickly. So more bullets are technically more likely to go into the enemy. And finally, I've gone for long barrel. It increases the range of the weapon. Very useful and a must-have for shotguns. Now for perks, I've gone for Perk 1, Sixth Sense. Obviously, I explained what that did a minute ago, and Flak Jacket as well. And obviously for that I needed Perk 1 Greed. And then for Perk 2, went for Scavenger. Again, you replenish ammo from enemies. And Perk 3, Dead Silence. You move silently. Shotguns, you need to be closer to enemies than, say, SMGs, so you need to get close to enemies, and they can hear you. Your footsteps are very loud in Black Ops 3, so Dead Silence, you're going to move silently, and they're not going to hear you, so you're going to sneak up on enemies. It's going to be very useful, and you're going to get more kills, generally. Now, for assault rifles, I've gone for the KN-44. I put a reflex sight on, it makes it more accurate. I put a quick draw, it means you can aim down sight faster. You don't want to be getting right in their face with assault rifles. Generally, you want to keep it a little bit of distance, but obviously still not too far away that you can't even see them, obviously. So quick draw's gonna be good, or you can aim down sight fast, so you'll be on sight quicker than they are. So theoretically, you should have the upper hand. I've then obviously gone for long barrel. This increases the range, and this is brilliant. I mean brilliant with assault rifles. It really has a big effect with assault rifles, and Not all of them, especially not the KM44, but generally a lot of assault rifles, it really does improve the range. And obviously, the good thing about assault rifles is obviously you can take off the enemies that are close to you, but you can obviously take the enemies that are very far away on the map, and it's good because they obviously can't really get to you, but you can kind of get to them because of your long barrel, so it's good. And finally, I've gone for fast mags. If you're in a close quarters combat or anything like that, and you need to quickly reload to get ammo back in your magazine, then that's how you do it with fast mags. So that's obviously going to mean you can more likely survive. Now, I had an extra point, so I spent on a tactical, I spent concussion. You can disorient enemies. So basically, you want to chuck around a corner or something, or in an area where you know there's going to be people, they're going to be concussed, and then you can shoot them, and it'll be very easy to get the kill. For perk 1, I've gone for Sixth Sense. I've already explained what that does. And then for perk 2, I've gone for Fast Hands. You swap weapons faster and aim faster after sprinting, so that's going to be very good. With assault rifles, you need to sprint towards the enemy, and with Fast Hands, you're going to be able to aim the sight faster. Perk 3, I've gone for Awareness, obviously, because you don't need Dead Silence, so you're not going to be too close to enemies, but Awareness is going to be good. If there's anyone near to you, you can hear them with your headset, and also you can actually locate enemies around with your awareness perk. This generally works better with headsets, and if you don't have a headset, maybe go for one of the other perks, but generally that's my favorite setup. And obviously for all of this setup for the assault rifle, I have to go for the Primer Gunfighter 1 wildcard. For the 4th class, now this is obviously for the LMG, I've gone for the Gorgon, the Reflex Sight, increases accuracy. I've gone for quick draw. LMGs are very slow at aiming, so this can be good. I've gone for stop. This obviously means you can move faster while aiming down sight, and obviously they're very sluggish, so this can be very good. And finally, one of the worst things about LMGs? They're very slow at reloading. Put fast mags on. It's going to reload faster. That's really, really good. Now for perks, by the way, I've gone for the Primary Gunfighter 1 wildcard. Obviously that means I can have an extra attachment. Now for perk 1, I've gone for Sixth Sense. For perk 2, I've gone for Fast Hands, and for perk 3, I've gone for Awareness. I'm not really explaining what these guys do anymore because I've already explained earlier on what all these do. Now, for the 5th class, I've gone for the Sniper, I've gone for the Locust. Optics I've left because generally I find the optics fine, but if you want to go for a thermal sight, that's fine. I've gone for the Ballistic CPU. This reduces the weapon sway. Obviously, if you put the Ballistic CPU on, you can't have the thermal sight or something like that, but with snipers, you want to hold down an area, and I'll talk about why that's important in a minute. Then I've gone for rapid fire. You increase the rate of fire, so more bullets being shot out in a given time. And obviously, because you've got more bullets coming out, it's obviously going to mean it's going to deplete your mag faster. So if you put extended mag on, it means you can shoot more bullets before you need to reload. It's great. Obviously, if you really need to reload, it's not a good thing for the game because you're kind of vulnerable. So extended mags long before you have to reload, so that's good. And finally, suppressor, because obviously if you're with a sniper, you need to kind of hold down an area. And generally, unless you're doing, if you're not a very good guy and you can't kind of aim on the chest / head, where you're going to pretty much always get a one-shot kill, then take off the suppressor. But if you're good, keep on the suppressor, because generally it should, obviously it will reduce the range a bit, yes, I know. But, it's going to mean there's no red dot sight, and of course, because you had to hold down an area, enemies can come up behind you. It's going to be very difficult when you're looking out windows or something with the sniper. Generally, that's what you do, and obviously you're going to be very vulnerable if you don't have the suppressor. That's why I'd suggest it. But you can take it off if you want. Secondary, don't go for secondaries or lethals, and this works for every class. Don't go for any secondaries or lethals, because if you get a kill with a secondary or lethal, and you then get a Bloodthirsty, that means the Bloodthirsty is not going to count towards your camo, because you didn't just get it with the weapon, you also get it with something else as well. So don't pack secondaries or lethals on any of your classes. I then gone for perk 3, which is awareness. I couldn't think of any other perk. I didn't really need any other perk. I just went for awareness, just in case there's enemies near you and you hear them, or you can locate enemies in which direction, that kind of thing. But generally, you don't really need any perks in this class, actually. And for tacticals, I've gone for 2 shock charges, because when an enemy steps on them, generally not many people use a perk to counteract it. And when people step on them, 1, you know they're there, and 2, obviously you're kind of shocked, so you can then react to them and kind of kill them with your sniper before they kind of can react back. So that's good, obviously. And then that's pretty much it. I think that's it. Generally just don't go for lethals or secondaries, because obviously that doesn't count towards your weapon camo kind of challenges. So for specialists, I'd go for either 2 options. Number 1, go for Outrider, go for Vision Pulse, because it means that you can obviously enemy shot red through walls, very easy to see them, and if you miss one, then obviously it's going to show you through walls, and it's going to show where they're coming. You're going to be able to actually stop enemies in their tracks before they come to you. You're going to know what they're doing before they actually do it. Now secondly, the other option is you could use glitch, because when someone's shooting you could quickly, once you've activated it, once you've earned it, you can then activate it and go obviously backwards. But obviously you're not going to always spawn, and obviously what I generally say is that if you need glitch, you're probably going to die before you can actually activate it, so it's probably not a good one. The best one to say is go for Vision Pulse. You can obviously see enemies through walls a lot easier, and very, very good perk. I mean, something like kinetic armor you don't really go for, because obviously again you have to kind of activate it, you show up bright white, and obviously people can still get headshots and stuff, and it obviously distracts you when you're activating it, so don't go for anything like that. For score sheets, then I would say literally just go for UAV. Yes, it's 500 points. If like I say, one of the things you can do with your class is if you go to the perk 2 and go to anti-up, obviously it's going to reduce the amount of score sheet you need, or score you need for a score sheet, although I really don't recommend that. What I actually recommend is getting UAV, and pretty much just UAV. Go into whatever game mode, I'll talk about game modes in a minute, and then what you want to do is either earn a UAV while you're trying to get your Bloodthirsty, or once you earn a UAV, then you can really try for the Bloodthirsty. But then obviously that UAV is going to be good. You can show where enemies are on the minimap. Obviously, don't go for something like the Hater, because the Hater requires 1200 points, in a row without dying, and that's way more than a Bloodthirsty in general, unless you're playing something like Domination, in which case, maybe that might be useful. But I would say a Hater you're going to get after Bloodthirsty, if anything. So, don't worry about that. Just go for UAV, and that'll be useful for you. Now, in terms of game modes, there's a few game modes I like. Basically, go for the core playlist. Your TDM are good. Domination is good. Kill Confirmed is good, and Safeguard is good. Safeguard is good pretty much only if you're defending and all the enemies coming towards you, because generally they're very vulnerable. You can just not camp, but stay near where you're where the goal is, and then just hide, and the enemies will keep coming forward, trying to push the robot forward. You can easily shoot them. They're very vulnerable. That's a very good way to actually get killed. But also TDM's good. It's just a general playlist, and you got a lot of players. Domination is good because it's like TDMLC, but that you've got flags, so enemies are a bit distracted. You've got an objective, and obviously you can get XP and kind of score easier to obviously get UAV. And finally, Kill Confirm's good. Obviously, you can get score streak faster. The match lasts for longer, so you've got more chance of getting Bloodthirsties. And also, and this is one of the best tips, obviously it's kind of like TDM, but the enemies are distracted with kind of objectives and stuff. So obviously, if there's a tag in front of you, you can kind of hide somewhere. The enemy will come forward to get it, and while they're trying to get it, you shoot them. That's a great tip. I love that one. So those are the best game modes in my opinion. But other tips, if you're baiting people out, don't let them bait you out and then you go around the door and they're waiting to shoot you. You wait behind the door, behind a wall or something, lie on the floor and aim up at the door. You don't need long shots, you don't need headshots, you just need to get the kill. Stay in an area, you hold kind of down an area, but keep going back and forth between one exit and another exit. Be careful, listen carefully, get your audio right so you can hear enemies and footsteps and stuff like that. You need to kind of apprehend the enemy before they do anything to you, and you just kind of suspect things. Don't do anything stupid, don't make loud noises, and obviously if you got lots of enemies, try and get out of the way, or try and always focus on only one enemy. Don't just suddenly try and go, one enemy, no, I'll go to that enemy, because it never works. Other tips, just generally don't run into the middle of the map, kind of stay back a little bit, but push forward very slowly, be quite defensive obviously, and I think that's pretty much the only tips really. So there's probably other tips, but I've forgotten them, so I can't really think of anything. If there's anything else, I'll leave them in as annotations. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, like, be awesome, and I'll see you guys very soon.